if I'm gonna be your
Yep.
friend here and I'm gonna, say, you know what, I want to see this guy do his best, then I gotta tell you, man, it's just as much about the sizzle as it's about the steak. So we're gonna go right into topic number three. My favorite, the real reason why I wanted to go into boxing, not so I can fight, so I can walk down the ring to my favorite tune. So we're going to talk about wrestling now, professional wrestling, because they're the ones, the originators, really, of the entrance theme songs. And we're going to
Yep.
talk about the best wrestling, ultimate wrestling theme songs of all time.
Okay. Fair enough.
So before we get into wrestling, Nick, your last couple of fights, you got to walk down to the ring. You got I know you don't wear the full robe, right? You wear the ones you can still see the jacked arms, right? You got the hoodie on.
Yeah.
What tune are you walking down to the ring and why?
So with me, it's always been whatever I feel in that moment. Sometimes I'm driving, and as I'm driving, songs come on, and sometimes it happened to me a bunch of times, and even now when I hear a song I use for my like in the past, I get like those I don't know what you call it, like butterflies in your head. Like
Yeah.
I feel the like it gives me this feeling like that's the one, right? And sometimes I hear a song and then I picture it, or words in the song explain a situation I'm going through at the time, and I just get like those butterflies, and then I'm like, that's the one. That's how I choose my songs.
What was the last song or two that you picked? Do you recall of what you walked down to the ring in? Which theme songs?
The last song I came down to
Yeah.
was "Even Flow" by Pearl Jam. I'm almost certain it was "Even Flow."
Even flow.
Yeah,
I remember, man.
yeah,
There was one. I think it was at Scotiabank Arena. Like five guys came down to G Easy. Like that was the big song at the time.
yeah, yeah,
So everybody's gonna
yeah,
come down to the same song. And I have found watching enough boxing in my life, it's not that much different than professional wrestling in that sense, because it's all about the show and the build up and the hype and the
yeah,
weigh in and all this. And then you're wearing the flashy robe and you got the music and you got the lights. And I love that stuff. And so even like the start of the
yeah,
Chosen Life podcast, it's me pumping up to the Ric Flair Space Odyssey song, like, and that pumps me up. And
yeah.
when you and I talked about it, and I always told you, like, I would be using Ric Flair, I'd use Mr. Perfect. I'll save my favorite one for a second. You always said your favorite wrestler was.
The Ultimate Warrior.
Okay. So we got the Ultimate Warrior. Now he was as intense as they get. He had,
Yeah,
the face paint, he had the hair, and he would come that theme song and he'd come running down to the ring. So I always said to you, Nick, you don't have to come sprinting down to the ring like the Warrior. But why
yeah.
did you never use the Warrior theme song yourself?
I want to. I really want. That's something I really want to do. Um, it's still a possibility because that song is amazing.
Nick, I'm gonna tell you, man, you come down to the ring. Okay, maybe you get your a couple trainers or somebody wearing the face paint themselves. But when people hear that,
Yeah,
that crowd is gonna get seriously, seriously pumped.
I agree. That's the song. Like I know lots of wrestling themes in the past have pumped people up, but that song when it comes on, the place just goes electric, man.
See, now, if I'm going down to the ring, and the way I always pictured myself, I'm going to go a different route. I'm going to turn the lights down real low. I'm going to have very small lights going, and I would play the Undertaker theme song. And I would have everybody
Nice.
carrying an urn, like Paul Bearer, and do the slow
Yep.
march down and just intimidate the hell out of my opponent. Take off the hat and do the eye thing and just glare at him and just scare the bejeebers. Maybe he's gonna even just run out of the ring and then forfeit. Even better for me. And then I got my win and I didn't get mashed up. But could you see yourself ever using something like the Undertaker theme song yourself?
Probably not the Undertaker theme. That kind of spurs a little thing of what we talked about before, but the whole intimidation thing, all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and the Andy Ruiz kind of method that he used, just being calm, relaxed, smiling. The funny thing is about that, when I walk to the ring, I understand I look a little bit intense, but before that, I'll be nice, I'll shake hands, I'll do whatever. I kind of take that route where I don't worry about intimidation. Even in the ring, there'll be the stare down, and the guy's staring at you like this, and he's going like this to me. I'll be like this. I'll even look away. I don't care. Like I'll even go like, yeah, cool, whatever, man. So this guy thinks he's already won because Mike Tyson would say, "Oh, I know right away. As soon as I look, if they look away, they're done." So that happens. The guy gets confident. All of a sudden, we go to meet in the middle of the ring. I give him a stiff jab to the face. That expression of confidence goes right off their face. Like I
Oh.
don't play mind games. I don't care about any of that stuff. I let my hands do the talking, and that's kind of my method. Like I don't even worry about that intimidation stuff. Like I personally don't think I look intimidating at all. So if someone's intimidated, sure, that's bonus for me. But I don't try to come off as intimidating. I'll just let these do the
Let do
intimidation.
those. Let do those to do the talking because yeah, I always wondered like why is he not wearing the full robe? Why doesn't he come in like the sequence like Ric Flair? Like you come and you're just like your workman. You come doing business, the bare minimum robe, bare minimum hood. You got obviously flashing your merch, and it's just a different mindset. I always wondered on it. So I guess you're almost like making your opponent feel comfortable and like, oh, he's a good guy. And then I was like, oh, okay, no, he's not. So
Yeah.
that's an interesting strategy. Whereas for myself, I'm 5'6", and I intimidating anybody with my size except for maybe my guns. But that being said, that's why I picture using the Undertaker,
Yeah.
using the NWO, using the Hollywood Hogan theme. That's the
Mhm.
stuff that speaks to me because when I would be going into a little known fact about me, when I would go and I'd be preparing for a boxing session, I would be on the treadmill or I'd be jogging or I'd be doing whatever, and I'd be watching Ric Flair rants. Like I just watched the man going woo, and that would pump me up and that would get me into
Yeah.
my mental mind space.
Yeah.
For yourself.
Everybody's different, right?
So like if you're heading over to the gym and you're planning to do a sparring session, what's playing on your radio?
So that's kind of what my method of doing things are a little different. Just like it's the same thing as me going into a fight. I don't get excited before the fight. I don't get excited. It'll be a day before the fight or 2 days before the fight. Someone would be like, "Are you excited?" And I'm like this. Like I literally, it's like another day. Like I don't even think about like. Well, obviously I think about the fight, but I don't even. It's not. I don't have any stress. Um, I don't try to get all focused. This because you know what that is to me, wasted energy. I just focus on the task at hand. I kind of prepare myself that way, and when I go into the fight, I'm fresh. Say I'm driving to the gym to go do a hard training session or sparring,
Yeah.
and I'm blasting music and I'm getting pumped. By the time I get to the gym, by the time I get changed, by the time I wrap up and I get suited and I get my gloves on, that's a lot of wasted energy being pumped up before my actual performance, my whether it be working out or sparring. So I kind of do the opposite where sometimes I just feel good and I'll put some music on, whatever, but I kind of just relax a little bit, like more calmer music. And then when I get to the gym and then I warm up, that's when I start pumping myself up.
I love it. Okay, well, listen, you know the formula, buddy. You're 10-0, so you ain't lost, and there's a reason why. Thank you for enjoying today's episode of the Chosen Life podcast. Go ahead and hit the subscription button below and the notification bell to catch all of our great shows. And remember to contact the Chosen Lawyers when you are ready for your next real estate and commercial transaction. Go to kormans.ca.